What's going on, guys? In today's video, we're going to be talking about how I went from being a broke college dropout to being the top sales rep at my company, Real Financial, and the three most important things that helped me be able to get there, in my opinion at least, and how I was able to do that with no experience inside of sales, no experience inside of the insurance industry. Guys, at the end of today's video, I'm going to go over one huge discipline hack that I use every single day that helps me get up, do the work, be super consistent, and hold myself accountable to where I actually want to go in life. The first thing that we have up here, guys, is consistency. And the reason that consistency is on here is because it's so important, especially if you're joining a new industry or you're joining a new position. Like if you're someone who's, like me, I didn't have any experience inside of sales. I didn't have any experience inside of insurance. So when I got started inside of insurance sales, I didn't know anything. So the longer amount of time that I stay in the industry, the more I continue to learn. And that doesn't really stop. And the point is that if I come in and I'm like, man, this is really tough. So at the beginning, I'll tell you guys a quick 30-second story. I had made 5,000 calls with no sales. There's no reason why I should have believed that this was going to work. Of course I did, just because that's what I wanted to do. And I just had chosen, I was set on it. So I didn't really care how long it was going to take. But the point is that during that time, I had a lot of reasons to quit. During that time period, I didn't know enough to be good, right? I wasn't good enough. I wasn't skilled enough. I didn't know the products well enough. I didn't know how to speak to people well enough. So what ended up happening is, as time went on, I just continued to get a little bit better. Here's what it looks like. It looks like this. You're at level 0 when you get started, and this is where you're at. And time, the bottom axis would be time, right? And then this would be skill. And so what happens is, as you go in your journey, you're continuing to suck and suck and suck, and then finally you hit level 1. And then over another, 3-4 weeks, you hit level 2, and then level 3 and level 4. And that's how this game works inside of business. The longer time that you spend inside your industry, the better that you become. The better, you can see what is to come, objections-wise, as a sales rep, how you can understand the business, how people want to buy, how people want to be sold, how to communicate with people better, right? So the consistency factor inside of becoming successful for me was really important, because at the beginning, I just didn't know enough to be successful. And as time went on, I learned and learned and learned. And what happened was I got the knowledge that I needed to become the sales rep that I needed to be. But that wouldn't have happened if I went and started a new opportunity. That wouldn't have happened if I left and went and tried solar sales or pest control sales or anything else. And the big thing that I want to really hit on and smack, if I was going to hit a home run with on this point, is don't quit your opportunity just because you're not seeing results yet. If you're in a sales position or in any kind of business and you're not getting results yet, the reason that you're not getting results is not because the industry doesn't work. It's not because your opportunity doesn't work. It's because of you. And all of the 3 points up here will be self-reflective internal things. You can be better. You can be smarter. You can have a better ability to communicate with people. You can have more knowledge on what's going on inside your industry, how to sell that product, what the real objections are, how to communicate with people and get them to want to move forward with you today, right? And so as you go, you start to build more knowledge inside of the skill sets that you need to become successful. You start to build more knowledge inside of the industry, so products, maybe, what the conversations are supposed to look like, the common objections, whatever it is, things like that. And the right and wrong ways to do things, right? In every aspect of the business, guys. So that's consistency. That's number one. Biggest piece of advice is just don't quit. Continue to go, because the longer time that you go, as long as you're always trying to level up and trying to become better, and you don't change that attitude, then you will, no matter what, over a long enough time period, get to where you want to go. The only variable is time, okay? Guys, the number 2 up here, we have daily problem-solving attitude. Now, we have this one up here because a lot of times, guys, new sales reps, I think, in my opinion, at least what I've seen, and I did this at the beginning, we just kind of we externally blame other things, right? And I remember calling, my mentor when I got started inside this business, and I was like, look, I don't think that the leads work. I think that these leads are broken, right? And I was blaming the external when I just stunk. I didn't know how to talk to people. I didn't know how to have conversations. I was becoming people's best friend on the phone, and then I would present numbers, and they were like, well, I'm going to think about it. And I couldn't get through those objections, and I didn't know what to do. I just thought that those people didn't want to buy. So I thought that it was external. When in all reality, when I started to be reflective and I started to self-reflect on my abilities to sell, my abilities to communicate, and if I was doing everything properly and correctly, I started to realize there were some holes, there were some gaps in what I needed to be doing to where I actually, the skill set that I needed. So then I started to fill those holes. And if you guys can think about, if it's a skill set or a business or whatever, whatever position you're in as a bucket, right? And that bucket has a bunch of holes in it. That's how you start out as a new sales rep in a new industry, because you don't know everything. So you have to spend time in the industry to learn the things that you need to know so you can patch those holes, but you have to have a daily problem-solving attitude, okay? And this is just one example of how you can, I guess how I had to have a daily problem-solving attitude. I'm gonna give you guys another frame here and a couple different things that I had to do when I got started, because it would have been so easy for me to just say, hey, this doesn't work. This doesn't work, I'm not gonna do this. And before I give this to you guys, a quick 30 seconds. Last year, guys, when I dropped out of college, I had no money in my bank account. I went from being, not on any of the leaderboards to, in the next 3-4 months, starting to write business at the top of the leaderboard. Andy Elliott reaches out to me, gives me a call. I end up moving in with Andy Elliott, drove all the way from Pennsylvania to Scottsdale. He called me the next morning, I packed up my stuff, drove all the way out here, lived with Andy Elliott for 4 months. I got an opportunity because I became a better sales rep, because I acquired more skills. I can provide value to the company. And that's a huge thing that I want you guys to get, is as you become better, more doors will open for you. As you invest in yourself, more doors will open for you. So keep that in mind. Now, guys, I would have had all of the reasons in the world to believe that this opportunity was not going to work for me. I had no money in my bank account. I'm giving you guys a few examples of my daily problem-solving attitude. I had no money, right? I had to figure out how to get money so I could buy leads, so I could make sales. Okay, that's the first one, guys. The second one is going to be that, and I'm going to give you guys another example. Like if I'm in business and I'm starting to build my agency and build my team, if I can't get my agents to write business, is it their fault or mine? Who am I blaming? Because it's the leader's fault. I'm the leader. I have to take accountability and responsibility for that, okay? Guys, the third one I'm going to give you guys is retention, right? If I'm building an agency, and I'm giving you a few examples of things that I've seen in my life, right? Like I'm building an agency now, and if I don't have good retention, if I can't get my agents to want to plug in, to choose to be here, then I'm doing something wrong. I'm not being a good enough leader. I'm not giving them enough reasons to come back tomorrow, okay? So these are just a couple different frames of how you can view, I hope that you can take these and use them in your own life, because ultimately having a daily problem-solving attitude will eliminate any kind of issues. You'll always be like, okay, that's going on. What can I do to solve that? And that's going to be number 3, guys, is always be learning on top of that. So we have number 2 is daily problem-solving attitude, which means that I'm always going to be looking for the solution. I'm never going to be pointing the finger, blaming things. I'm always going to be looking to solve those issues. And a good little saying that I like is always live life looking in the mirror and not out the window, okay? What that means is you're not pointing the finger, blaming, and just saying like this isn't going to work because of that person. You're not viewing the external as the reasons that you're not getting the results that you want. You're taking accountability and responsibility for all of the results and all of the things that are happening inside of your business and inside of your life, okay? So the point is, for these two are kind of like combined here. Daily problem-solving attitude will help you always be learning, because if you're always looking for solutions and you're not complaining, you're not blaming, then you have this attitude of you're always learning and you're trying to get better. And maybe I just don't know enough, right? And the longer that I stay in the industry, the more that I know. So then these problems don't happen again. So that just means that the same, scale chart like this, right? If I want to get to level 10 of the game, right? Which is like, for me, we'll just say it's like having an agency that's doing $10 million in premium a month, right? That's level 10. That's where I'm trying to get to. Well, that means that I don't know enough to get there yet, because I'm not there yet. So I need to learn. And what's going to happen is I'm going to have challenges. I'm going to have problems. I'm going to run into issues as we grow and scale. And it's my job to solve those problems so then we can get to the next level. But that doesn't happen without issues arising. So you have to expect that problems are going to come. But when you have a daily problem-solving attitude and always be learning attitude, those problems don't become huge. They become just a part of what you do, right? And I think it's really important that you have that attitude, because the better attitude you have, the more able, the more capacity you have to take on that stress and the difficult things that do come. And if you just view your business and growing inside of being a sales rep and building an agency or building your business as these two attitudes here, you will grow and you will scale. And this is just an example, like, when I got started inside of Real Financial, I literally didn't have any money. I had no skill. I didn't know what I was doing. But every single day, I just said, you know what? These are some things that I'm going to do. I'm going to pick 3 things that I'm going to do every single day to get better. And I just took steps and I just started to grow daily. It wasn't huge. I didn't do it all overnight. But every single day, I just took one step in the right direction, another step in the right direction. That helped me grow and scale, right? So guys, those are the three biggest things that I think helped me to go from college dropout to being the top sales rep at Real Financial, guys. My daily hack for discipline, guys, my discipline hack for you guys today is going to be to track everything. It is hold yourself accountable by having to fill something out or check a box every single day. And guys, the point is like, it's not like just to do it. It's to, if these goals and these things are really important to you and they are actually as serious as you say that they are, or maybe I believe that they are, then I need to be holding myself accountable. It isn't like, oh, I kind of did that today. Yeah, like, I'm sort of moving in the right direction. It's like, no, black or white. Did I do it or did I not do it? Am I going the direction that I want to, or am I floating around? Am I on my mission, moving towards what I want out of my life, my definiteness of purpose, or am I just floating around? Right? And I'm asking you guys to just be self-reflective, because if you're not, then you're just going to float around. And guys, time is going to pass. And the question isn't, is 10 years going to go by? The question is, what are you doing with that time that's getting the 10 years to go by? Because when I look back in 10 years, I know what I want to be saying to myself. I know I want to be like, hey man, I'm glad that I did all those things to set myself up, to set my future family up with this life that we have now. It isn't like I'm just going to wake up in 10 years and be like, I'm going to start doing that now because now I have the family. Now I'm in a position where I should be worrying about that stuff. No, I'm doing all this to set up to where I want to go. So this is the hack, guys, right? And I'm going to pull out my handy dandy marker here. I'm going to erase some of this stuff here real quick. And I'm going to show you guys a quick thing of what I mean, right? Like, let's just say that, for example, I'm an insurance sales rep and I want to write 30K this month, okay? That is a 3. That is the ugliest looking 3 on the planet. Okay, so we're going to say 30K, right? That's the big goal. Okay, well, all right, we're just going to say 40 for math's sake because I am no math magician, and that is for sure. So 40K, right? Well, I know that there's 4 weeks in the month. So I'm going to take 1, 2, 3, 4. And I know that there's 7 days. This is literally what I do. I used to use a huge poster board, and I would draw out a calendar. At the top, I would draw out my goals, right? And I have a couple. I have my business goals, my personal fitness goals, my health goals. I want to eat healthy every day. I love feeling good, things like that. Personal development, self-development, growth, right? Investing in myself, making sure that I'm continuing to learn, things like that, right? And the point is just that, you're going to hold yourself accountable to these things, because the people who can be self-accountable are the people who are forever wealthy. Because I know that if I get up every single day and I'm chipping away at where I want to go, I will get there. It is not a matter of if, it's just a matter of when. Okay, so making sure that I'm continuing to be self-accountable, because no one else in this world is going to hold you accountable for where you want to go and end up. So you have to do it. So if I know that $40,000, that means I have to write $10,000 a week. That means that each day I probably have to write 1,300 in premium or something. So I would have this on a Google spreadsheet, and I would fill it in with either green, or I would fill it in with red if I hit that. And then I would have another one right here tracking how much business I've written numbers wise. And, my daily, let's just say I work 5 days a week, right? So there's not enough things here. Actually, yeah, there is. But so this is Sunday and this is Monday. This is Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Maybe I just work 5 days a week, right? Well, so that means that I got to do $2,000 every day to hit my $10,000 a week. So then I would know that $2,000 in premium a day gets me a green box here. That means that I get this color. I get blue because that means complete, right? Okay, well, if I didn't hit it this day, then I know that I get a black. And I know that if I hit it this day and I hit it this day, then I get good. I passed. I'm doing it, right? And I'm tracking the business in a whole nother one down here like this. And I have the totals being calculated at the end. And guys, this is nothing fancy. This is something that I just use to hold myself accountable on whether or not I'm moving in the direction that I want to go. I can look at this thing and I can know exactly where I'm at, and if I'm moving, if I'm on pace to hit my goals, if I'm behind, if I have to stay late one day to make up for it. And it just helps me visualize and see where I'm at inside my business. So guys, this discipline hack is something that I use every single day. I hope that it helps you guys. It's something that keeps me moving forward, because I know that if I just show up every single day and I'm just aimlessly showing up to work, then I'm not going to be excited. But when I have things that I'm chasing, I have targets, I have goals that are helping me move towards a bigger picture goal, I know that it's exciting, it's more fun, it's a challenge. I'm trying to beat myself, right? And it's internal, it's me versus me. All right, guys, so I hope that this stuff helps you guys. If it did help you, share it with a friend, like, comment, subscribe, or don't. If you didn't like it, don't do any of that stuff. But we'll see you in the next video, guys.